Hello, my name is David Scully. I'm the event manager for Revolution Enduro, and I'm here with the racer meeting for the Eagle Enduro for July 12th, 2020. Thanks for your patience as we've worked through this interesting process of trying to put on an event with COVID-related safety concerns with multiple land managers. We're excited, and I think there's a lot of eyes on our event. We're one of the first ones to kind of come out of the chute and execute. Thanks for paying attention to this meeting and your participation in the process and the race. So I'm going to dive in, kind of give you the overview of what to expect. New for the 2020 is a streamlined check-in process. No more is there a day before check-in. Everything will happen the day of the race. To make this process streamlined, you're going to be divided into 10 groups of 25 riders, and those riders will then be leaving the race headquarters at Brush Group Pavilion in Eagle, which is where the event parking is, and also the post-race lunch and awards. That is the event parking. You will stage there for your rider group shuttles, and I'm going to call shuttles carpooling. So you're self-shuttling, and you're going to receive an email giving you who's in your group. Now, if you have been training and riding with a group of people that are your COVID safe circle of friends, then email us that group, that name of people that are registered for the race that you would like to be in the same race group, and that way you can coordinate your carpool to the race drop-off location. Email us at mick@revolutionenduro.com. Give us that list of people you want to race with, and we will get your groups organized. You'll receive an email from us probably July 6th or 7th. Look for that to come from Mick or David at revolutionenduro.com, and that'll have everyone in your group. You can coordinate, you can communicate with each other, reach out, organize anything that you need to regarding carpool. So the process back at Brush Creek on race day, July 12th, is going to start early in the morning. In that email, you'll receive the schedule, and your groups are going to be divided into A, B, C, all the way down to J for the day and how things are going to start. So once you get to Brush Creek, a lot of this will make sense. You can pull it up on Google Maps, but right across the street to the east of the pavilion, there's a small parking lot. For the group that is staging to carpool up to the race drop-off location, that group will go to that east parking lot to load. The west parking lot next to the actual pavilion, that is your event parking. There is no parking on hardscrabble road. You'll hear me say that a lot. So just know that you're going to be assigned a group, a start time, a load time for your carpooling. That load time and staging will occur at the east lot at Brush Creek Pavilion. There will be race crew there with signs and a PA system helping to kind of keep things on schedule. So everybody's leaving on a 30-minute interval. Ideally, your group of 25 is going to fit into somewhere between 8 and 10 vehicles, and we're going to keep the vehicles to a minimum on the road staggered at 30 minutes. So that was a lot of information there. You will receive an email that has all this. So before you start hammering us with questions, wait for the email. Couple of things with regard to the carpooling. We will have some U-Hauls. We're getting small U-Hauls. So think about, I think we're looking at probably 15 to 20 bikes per U-Haul. And we can probably turn that U-Haul or shuttle time around in about an hour and a half. So if you can accommodate as many people in your carpool vehicles, we will have U-Hauls for bikes that don't fit on vehicles. And that bike load will take place at the same lot on the east side across the street from Brush Creek. So the drive time up to the drop-off location on Hardscrabble Road is about 45 to 50 minutes, depending on how you drive. And once you get there, there'll be some cones, some traffic directing. So it's a big area. You'll do a turnaround. You'll offload or unload your vehicles. My suggestion is that you get in the vehicle ready to pedal. And so when you get out of the vehicle, you can get your bike. You're going to pedal a very short distance up to the actual check-in. There's going to be a couple of tents and tables. We're going to divide those into, based on your race plate number, odds and evens. So depending, and you'll get that information in your email as well. So you'll know your race number. So go to the appropriate tent. There will be a piece of paper already on the tent with your race number and a line for your signature. So you'll go ahead and give us your signature, and that's going to signify that you have completed the waiver, and that'll be an online process. You'll get that in the email as well. You'll sign that online before the race. Quick note on waivers, specifically for junior racers, you'll need to print and have your parents sign that waiver and bring it with you along your carpool up to the race check-in and give it to race crew at race check-in. These waivers will be found on the Eagle Race landing page on the Revolution Enduro webpage. So critical that junior racers bring this signed waiver. Parents of junior racers, it's critical that you sign that and send it with your kiddo. No waiver, no racing. Thank you for paying attention to this very critical point. When you give us your signature at race check-in, that's going to signify that you've completed the waiver. You are receiving your timing chip. The timing chip has a value of a $150 replacement fee, and acknowledging that you'll pay that if you lose it. And at that point, you will get your timing chip and your race plate and the ties for your race plate, and you will then pedal up the road another short distance to the journey start. For those of you new to enduro racing or chip timing, the journey start is critical. What happens at the journey start is there will be a race crew there, and they will basically turn on your timing chip. This is critical because if you don't stop at the journey start, you will not have timed results for the day. So just beyond the race check-in, where you get your plate and your chip, is the journey start. Stop there, have the crew activate your timing chip, and then at that point, you can pedal on at your leisure during the transfer. You can put your race plate on after that. For those of you that like the zip ties, bring your own zip ties. We will have the twist ties for you for the race plate. But all of that stuff will have to happen past the journey start. For those of you going on to stage 1, there's a couple critical points to pay attention to, and those are specifically, there's Livestock Gates. The Forest Service is very concerned, and it was a big hiccup for this event permit. Those Livestock Gates must be closed. Just as critical as the timing chip is and the journey start, those Livestock Gates must be closed after you pass through them. If you're pedaling with a group, just like you would on any other ride, first rider opens it, holds it open for everybody, and closes it. And I'm not concerned if you can see another group in the distance and you want to be nice and leave it open, close it. All Livestock Gates must be closed once you pass through them. I'm going to thank you in advance for paying very close attention to that. All of this information is going to be, again, relayed to you in an email. There's going to be ongoing social media posts about it. I think I can actually get into what would be the regular racer brief at this point, which is you've completed the carpool, you've completed the race check-in, you're pedaling to your stage. And at this point, if you're new to enduro racing, this is a quick overview on how the start process at the stage goes. So there'll be a race crew there, and you'll be going in 30-second intervals, and you'll be called up to the start line, and you'll keep 1 foot on the ground, and you're going to keep 1 foot on the ground until the race crew says go, and you'll get a warning somewhere between 15 and 10 seconds. And then at 5 seconds, you'll get a 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And then go is on go. Then you start pedaling and you're off. A little bit further, maybe 15 yards down the trail, is the actual timing beacon. So the timing chip will be worn on your right wrist. Again, the timing chip will be worn on your right wrist. The beacon will be on the rider's right of the trail. When you pass that, some of you might hear a beep, some of you won't hear anything. Whether you hear a beep or not, if you have gone through the journey start, your beacon, your chip is on, and we are now capturing your race time. So just focus on the trail, do your thing, and have fun on that trail, or scare yourself to death, or whatever your process is for your race run. And when you get to the finish, you'll just roll right through the finish. It's critical that when you cross that finish line, that you keep going. A lot of people want to stop and say, hey, did you get my time? Did you get my number? But if you approach the finish again, and there will be a race crew member there, and get too close to the finish beacon, you'll get multiple timestamps, and it'll mess up your race time. So know that we've captured your time, and you can roll on to the transfer. Safety with regard to injury. If you come upon an injured rider on the trail and they're not moving, the rider who finds this down racer, you need to stop. There's nothing going on in our lives that's not more important than somebody's safety. So stop, ask that person what's going on. If they're not conscious, stay with them. The next racer who comes down the trail, communicate with them to go to the finish and let race crew know that there's an injured rider on the trail, and they will communicate to the start. And at the start, there's also a medic, and the medic will down transfer to the injured rider, and at that point, that stage will be put on hold and will address that rider's needs. Critical for that first rider on the scene to stay there. Keep that injured rider company, let them know things are all right, helps on the way. The next rider's down. After that first rider, post up, give a hand, make sure people in your riding community are getting the attention and assistance they need. Beyond that, the courses, they're already available. You can practice them as you'd like. They're posted on the website. You can find these on Trail Forks. They will be marked on Friday the 10th, but you can go ride them anytime right now. There's no set practice. At the end of the day, you'll follow the transfer signs and ride back to the Brush Creek Pavilion. That's where awards will be, lunch. Lunch is going to be a box lunch. We're not going to do line service. There will be disinfectant. Race crew is going to be wearing masks. Anywhere there's, even though we're outside and we're trying to maintain 6 feet of distancing, keep yourself safe, keep those around you safe. Awards, we're going to do something different for awards. We're going to try this. We're going to try and do rolling awards. So the first group's down. We're going to do awards earlier in the day. We're not going to wait to the end of the day and do one big awards group. A couple reasons for that. With the COVID thing, we're trying to keep crowds to a minimum. And we also recognize that if you're one of the first people to finish the race and you're on the podium and you got done at 12:30, you have to wait around 3.5 hours for awards. We recognize that could be an inconvenience to travel schedules, family, everything's going on. So we're going to try this rolling awards, so bear with us as we do this, and we're going to see how it works out. Main recap points of this racer brief are event parking and carpool shuttle is at Brush Creek Pavilion by the schedule that you'll receive by email. Make sure you go through the journey start at race check-in to get your timing chip turned on, and close all Livestock Gates. Other than that, have fun. Thanks for participating in the Revolution Enduro races, and we'll see you in Eagle.